You're listening to AM Beaver County on 95.7 FM, 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP, and 1460 WMVA. Presented by St. Barnabas and streaming live at beavercountyradio.com.
And we're back on AM Beaver County on this Monday morning, and joining me in studio is Kelly Cope, returning once again from Patriot Home Care in Beaver Falls. Kelly, good morning to you.
Good morning, Matt.
So we're now getting into the summer months, and we're starting to get into a period of time in which, you know, it may seem like for many it's like, oh, let's go out and have a good time, and let's go out and, you know, have as much fun as we want to. And for those living, you know, with, you know, disabilities or anything like that, or those who need assistance, it may not quite be the same way, and that's where the assistance of Patriot Home Care can come into play.
Correct. My grandmother, the last 10 years of her life, I actually had to take care of her myself. So I know firsthand what it's like to have someone that, you know, wants to get out, wants to do something, you know, doesn't want to be locked up in home.
Right.
And I believe this program is amazing for everybody. And I didn't know about it until 3 years ago when I started with Patriot. Otherwise, I might have had my grandmother put on the program as well. But people have a hard time. They think that with this program, we're taking away their independence. And we're not. We're giving them the assistance that they need to go outside, to be able to stay in their home, not go into a nursing home. They don't realize that it's there to help them, not take things away from them. So I encourage everybody I talk to. I'll be out and about, see somebody in a wheelchair, see somebody, you know, with family, helping take care of them. And I'll approach them and be like, hey, this service is there for your loved one. You know, you can get paid to take care of them too. So it's a win-win for the whole family, and they get the services that they need.
Now, we talk about the services and the idea of, you know, sort of this assistance in living an independent lifestyle. How long does it take usually for someone, like does it depend on how a person is sort of in a physiological standpoint, for how long it may take them to sort of regain that independence or to maintain that independence?
To get on the program, it's actually 2 to 3 months to get on it. So you don't want to wait until mom or grandma has fallen and broken their hip and then they need the help. You want to get them at the point where once you see them start needing help, then it's a good thing to get on this program. And the home care can actually be like put on the back burner for a little while. They don't have to take it right away. They can wait until, you know, God forbid something happens, or,
Right.
you know, the family just can't do it anymore. They need somebody to come into the house and help them. So the longest part is getting signed up. So that's why I always say you might not need it now, but you might need it 2-3 months from now. Heaven forbid you break your hip, you know, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I always encourage to get on the program as soon as you can, before something really does happen.
Now, as far as getting on the program and what happens at that point, like if say someone does get on the program after the 2-3 month period, what happens next? As far as what do the people who sign up for it do? Like as far as the senior or the seniors or whoever needs the assistance, what happens to them and what happens to the caretakers who have sort of suggested this? What are their steps next?
Well, once they're on the program, they're actually assigned what's called a service coordinator. And that is someone within the managed care organization that actually works with them to get what they need.
Okay.
So if they, you know, need the home care, they help them try to find an agency. With us, if we help them, we don't expect them to take us. I mean, we would like them to, but we just want to help them get on the program to get the services they need. If they need anything like done to the home, like home modifications, any supplies, things like that, their service coordinator is the one that they work with to get all of that. So they're not alone, you know, from start to finish, they're not alone. We are on the starting side of it. We help them get in, you know, get started. And I've actually been on the phone with participants that have gone through the process each step of the way until they were approved. And then obviously that one picked us, but they don't have to.
Right. Now, as far as the service providers themselves or the service assistants, when it comes to stuff like that, 'cause you mentioned stuff, like home repair or, taking them out to, the grocery store, stuff like that, we talked about before, how much of that is a matter of them doing that themselves? Like you mentioned home repairs. Would it be something where they would have to repair something, or do they have the power and authority to, make the arrangements with some other company in order to get that done?
They would have to go through their service coordinator. They would let, and when I say home repairs, I don't mean if a window breaks or something like that. What I'm talking about is someone, say you're at home, you end up in a wheelchair, but your home is not wheelchair accessible.
Oh, okay.
Like if you need a ramp to get into the house,
Right.
or if you need bars on your bathroom, things like that. So I apologize, I kind of said
okay.
that without thinking. But
I'm learning along with everybody else.
The home repairs are not basic home repairs. They're home repairs for the client to be able to stay in their home, whether that's handicap accessible, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that's I understand.
Sorry.
Okay, so, but it's for them to sort of create that adaptability for those who may need the assistance. And it may be something along the lines of a ramp or a guide rail for those who may need it, or something along those lines to make sure that while they're in the home, their home is becoming more
livable.
Right, livable for those within the home. And again, we talked about the benefits of working as an assistant before, and there are many there because you guys are still looking for those who are in that role, right?
All the time. I mean, it's a never ending hiring. It's a never ending, getting clients to come on board. The nice thing is this job, it's always out there.
Mm-hmm.
You might not, if you have a client, the client passes away, you might have to wait a week or two, maybe even 3 to get another one, but they're always coming. They're always going to be someone that needs taken care of. The sad part is there's not a lot of people out there that know about this. So we're struggling to get that word out there to let people know, hey, you really need to sign up for this program. It's an awesome program to work, for your help.
And it is a good thing too, because again, it provides that assistance to those, or assistance for their independence to get them out and helping them out. And it's also a good thing for those who are trying to sort of create those bonds and sort of learn the communication skills between helping somebody down the line, because it may come to that point later on where somebody is either themselves getting into that role of needing assistance to help them live an independent lifestyle, or one of their loved ones do that. And if they work through Patriot Home Care, they can sort of get that firsthand experience beforehand, so that when they have to face it in their own personal lives down the line, they're ready.
And the one thing that I've experienced, and I can say for my company and the office I work in, and Patriot as a whole, is we help the clients as much as we can. Sometimes the service coordinators, they have so many patients or clients that they can't always do what they need to do. So us at the office, we would actually go above and try to do something for them as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we give them that experience, because I know it's scary, having someone else come into your home,
Right.
having different things happen to you, somebody, depending on somebody else. And we try to make that as easy as possible for them. I've been out as manager. I don't sit in my office and watch the business run. I actually go out to the homes. I've done the caregiving part of it. Client or caregiver calls off. There's a client we have that needs somebody. I will go out to their home and help them.
Right.
So we're more of a family-oriented agency versus the agency that just wants somebody there to collect a check.
Right. And that's a great thing too, because it does keep the family involved. And it's not one of those things where, I know we've talked about before about the difference between this and like a nursing home, where it feels like sometimes the caretakers drop off the person or the patient or whatever term you'd want to use, and they just sort of leave them to the care of that home. Or in this case, it's a matter of, hey, we're just trying to get you to live your own life, and we're going to keep you in touch with your family. and, keep those relationships strong, keep those relationships, close in case something does happen. We're talking with Kelly Cope from Patriot Home Care. If someone wants to come work for Patriot Home Care or feels that they may be eligible for the program, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, there's a couple ways. They can actually call the local office here in Beaver Falls. We're located at 1225 7th Avenue, Beaver Falls, PA. The phone number is 724-506-8911. They can also email me directly if they would like to. My email is kcope@patriot-hc.com. And we also have a general website. It's patriothomecare.org.
Patriothomecare.org. And we'll have all the links later on this morning when we post the interview to beavercountyradio.com. But again, it feels like all these different things because, again, we hear so often about, seniors sort of, debating, don't put me in a home, don't put me in a home, because they feel like at that point, everything, their family's gone by the wayside, and they're sort of in the hands of these strangers, and it all feels like, being a stranger in a strange land. And it feels like Patriot Home Care is sort of an alternative to that, where it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be, anything completely unfamiliar or, going into a brand new phase of life and having to relearn everything. It's a matter of little, changes here or there that could sort of smooth out that process.
Correct. It's really sad. I've seen in this business how many clients, participants have actually gotten they have nobody. The family, is either too busy. They, don't take the time to help them, don't take the time to go see them. And we also have families that are really involved. Some families have to, quit their jobs to take care of their loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, this is a program that you can actually, get paid to take care of your loved one, as long as you're not the power of attorney or your spouse. It won't make up your income, because obviously a lot of people make higher funds, but it would, help make up some of it. So I guess what I'm trying to say is this company and this agency and this line of work is there for the people. It's not just a quick, we want to take you on, get your money. And it's not even their money, it's the state's money, because it's funded by the state. And we just want to help these people. Right.
And there's not a matter of profit in there for it. It's a matter of actually, helping out and, making sure that, living is capable. Because again, and again, like we talked about before, if it comes to a point where it may feel like, okay, we don't necessarily think that you're qualified for this program, let's refer you to somebody else. It can get to that point because it's a state program and it sort of, helps benefit others and says, okay, this might be better for you. But again, a lot of times there's this feeling of, okay, let's just, call it a day, send them off to pasture or whatever the case may be, and that's it. Where in this case, no, it's a matter of, wanting to live life the same, and just make those small adaptations, those small changes to help those who are out. And I know I tend to use, sort of a senior citizen, which is understandable because that's just, the natural biology. But this applies to anybody who needs assistance.
Yeah, it's not just anyone. It's not just senior citizens who are on Medicare, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone that has, physical disabilities, also need our help. Somebody that, ends up in a car accident, bedbound, can't walk, can't do the little things for themselves. They can actually get on this program as well and have someone come in and help them, during the day with their daily living activities. And again, if they have family, the family can get paid to take care of it. So there's not really, other than, sorry.
It's okay.
The age limit isn't really a factor. Now, we don't obviously take care of children. So right. It's got to be an adult, 18 or over, and even 18 to like in their early 20s. That might be something depending on their disability or issues that they have. That still might consider into the younger adult. But we have clients. I have a client that was like 40 in their early 40s. We have clients. I have a client right now that is 96 years old. So it's a wide range of ages.
Mhm.
It's just based off of your monthly income, and you can have something as simple as high blood pressure.
And I was going to ask about that too. Is it mainly a physical thing that it allows one to qualify for this program, or could it be something along the lines of a psychological disorder or anything like that?
It depends on the psychological disorder.
Okay.
We do have patients with dementia, Alzheimer's, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, someone that needs a little bit more, they would have to, there's a separate program for that. There's a separate program for the people that have a lot more mental issues than what we can handle, because our facility is not skilled. We're not nurses. We're not doctors. We're not nurse practitioners. It's normal people that are just helping you do your normal daily living activities.
And I think that's the key point here. It's normal people helping, normal people be normal people with the
Correct.
assistance in that case. And I think when it's looked at in those lens, it sort of does put everything together, where it's not like this, massive system of, hey, we're doing this, and we have this person take care of this person has the supervisor, everything. No, it's just, hey, we're willing to help you out, and we have the funding to do so. Let's help you out.
Correct. And I have actually a caregiver and someone that works in my office that they have their degrees to do something else. The caregiver actually has a degree to be a nurse. Like, all she has to do is take the test.
Mm-hmm.
And one in my office has a degree to go somewhere else and work higher and get more money. But when you talk to them, they like what they do. They
Mm-hmm.
like taking care of people. So that's why they stay. They don't need the big paychecks or, things like that right now. So they enjoy taking care of people. They stay with us, and those are the type of people that we need. We need people that care, that want to take care of people. We don't want the ones just out of high school that just want to play on their phones and,
Right.
Take a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
That's not fair to them. That's not fair to us. And it's not fair to the client. You go to McDonald's or places like that, they don't allow you to be on their phones.
No.
When you're taking care of somebody, you need to pay attention to them. So you have to have a lot of compassion and want to take care of people for this position.
And I think one of the biggest parts of it too is the personability that comes with these situations, because again, in a more nursing home type setting, it could be along the lines of, okay, well, if I can't do this, or if you have the knowledge in the back of your mind that someone else is going to take care of this, then it sort of creates that apathy of, oh, somebody else will take care of it. In this case, it's not there's not a possibility that you're assigned somebody and you're assigned to help them out, and that's what leads to that system of care that you guys have.
Correct. There's not a backup when these caregivers, call off or, don't do something for a client. I mean, when you become a caregiver and you get a client, those two people build a bond, like you said before,
Mm-hmm.
and they know what the client needs. The client knows the caregiver. They trust the caregiver. In a nursing facility, you have 3 or 4 people that work a floor or work, however many rooms or whatever. And once their shift is done, it's done. Like
Right.
They don't, I'm not saying they don't have compassion. Don't get me wrong.
Right. I know
I'm
what you
not
mean,
saying
though.
that, but I'm just trying to let people know the difference, because in a nursing home, you have somebody else coming in on another shift.
Mm-hmm.
When you do in-home care with Patriot or any other agency, you're the only person they see.
Right.
They don't have somebody coming in after you leave all the time.
That's exactly right. And so that's creating, a different type of care that, again, is something that we'll, hash out in more detail as the months come along. But Kelly, thank you so much for coming in this morning and talking
Thank
about
you for
Patriot
having
Home
me.
Care with us. Again, we'll have all the links and numbers that people need in case they are interested in signing up for the program or becoming a caretaker themselves at beavercountyradio.com later on this morning. And we'll talk again next month about some of the other things that Patriot Home Care has for the citizens of Beaver County. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're listening to Beaver County Radio on a Monday morning.
When accidents and injuries happen, you need the experience and insight